look, it's me. I'm back. I don't know where my hat is that I wore that made me look so much more Scottish. I put it somewhere, but I will look for it to continue with my review recap, my version of what happened on the Traitors, episode 2. Well, I learned something, and that is that Lisa Arena, she likes to talk about herself in the first person. And it starts with the three of them gathered around the well. Lisa and Candace and Rob. And they have to decide who it is that are going to kill, of course. There is an obstacle because the secret traitor put the 4 names on the list, and one of the names was Rob Ross. But of course, Rob cannot murder himself because he himself is a traitor. So they have to decide who they're going to murder. And the way that the show, for people you who don't understand, you see, there are traitors and there are faithful. And basically the idea of the show is to try to guess who the traitors are and get rid of them so that you win more money. But sometimes people think the people who are faithfuls are traitors. So it's like a guessing game, really. And then there are some people who just make themselves look as if they are a traitor because they just don't know what they're doing. Anyways, so it is now breakfast time. And the Lisa Rena says herself in the first person that because she's Lisa Rena, she's very happy about her name and who she is on this particular episode. And it's time where they have the breakfast. There's just a big, nice breakfast room. And this is where the people have a tete-a-la-tete, which is where they talk. Portia is very, very hungry. And they start to talk about the situation, which is a play on the word situation. I like that. Anyways, as they all groups and they all start coming into the kitchen situation. The main thing on their mind is who is it that was murdered when they went to sleep the night before. I found my hat that makes me look more Scottish. So as they're all in the kitchen and they're talking and there's a little bit of a hullabaloo, a lady named Dorinda comes in and she is so excited that she has made it and has lived to not be murdered. Because apparently she's been on this show before and she's murdered right away every time. She must have the personality of a traitor. So she is going on and on so much about being alive that the young man who is a skater is like, hello, we are all alive too. More people matter, you know? So they go on to talk and talk a bit and they're still wondering who is it that was murdered last night. And then we go to the scene of the traitors from the night before with Lisa and Candace and Rob gathered around the well. And they are going to eliminate who they're going to eliminate. And then we see Ian, Rob says that he is a genius. And what we hear, that he is in a genius, that what is a genius, that if he is a genius, that probably is not a good thing. So they show the people sleeping, the Mark with the here and the other person, Eric, and the Ian. And then the next thing you see is Ian walking into a room and getting the note. And he's very upset and sad that he has been voted off because apparently he's from the show Big Brother and perhaps he won. And he is smart. And so, but you know what I'm learning? Who else is smart? Rob Roche. Now, what I'm giving you is an overview, so I'm not going into the details. Plus, I don't know half of these people, so I'm still trying to get acquainted with the people, the person, the Jam Jam, who was apparently one survivor way after I used to watch the show. And then there is the Colton guy, who I remember he was a bachelor one time. He's with the women, but I know that he has changed over the years. And then there is Moira, who seems to be innocent, but she still says the word tink like she does on After Sun. And then there seems to be that everybody has a crush on Rob Roach. The men and the women, especially the men, they seem to love Rob. And Rob is there and he's playing the game very well, I have to say. I am very surprised at how much he talks. I just like, it's amazing to me. I'm still flabbergasted by the talking. So they have a competition because that's what happens with this game. And it's like somebody has to sit in a throne and all the people have to pull and push the throne and it's a race. And Alan tells them that they have 45 minutes, but he's not giving them a real clock. So they have to think of what the time is as they're doing the race and picking up the tokens and trying to find a shield and doing all those things. But the guy with the red hair, who's very loud, Michael Rao Rao Papa Pom Pom, he and Jam Jam have a bit of a tete-a-tete because Jam Jam is begging Moira, begging someone, please, please let me sit in the throne. And Michael also really want to sit in the throne because once you're in the throne, I think that means that you are safe and nobody can eliminate you. And he feels that there should have been a bit of a barter. They should have talked about it, but Jam Jam got it. And then when they all got there to the end to find out that they did win some more money to put in the pot of the money, Michael Papa Pum Pum starts to go off a bit on the Jam Jam because he says he wanted to have a tete-a-tete and talk about it because he just likes to talk a lot. And his people just already seem very turned off by the Rappa-Pum-Pum, but the Rappa-Pum-Pum keeps talking and Jam Jam is turning the red and it just doesn't look good. And Jam Jam tries to tell him another time and the host tries to say, well, this is why we have the round table when we talk about the traitors. That is why we have the discussion then. And so that is the end of that scene. Okay, the recap is taking long. Okay, so after they were outside, now they're all going to go inside because they're going to eat and they're going to be in the kitchen, etc., etc. Lisa Renna, her outfit is very interesting. And there is another lady with a very interesting outfit. I don't know who she is with the blue on, but the lady Donna, who is the mother of the Kelsey man with the Swifty girl who's right now all over the tabloids, does emails and all of that, which has nothing to do with this. But the Donna lady, she does look a little bit more well kept this episode because the very first episode I worried about Donna, but it almost looked like she has new glasses on. Her glasses actually reminds me of Monet. I think Monet is very, very fine, I have to say. And then Donna realizing maybe she should try to talk a little bit more, but she's not comfortable talking. Anyway, during this, what is happening now is that Portia has a problem. I think Portia is so excited to be on the show. I think she's so excited she just talks about things. So one minute she says that she killed Ian. The next minute she says that there's 4 traitors. And everything she says, you see the guy on. Look! To notice what Portia is saying, because the guy on, he's thinking like, okay, I think that Portia is a traitor because she just keeps saying all these things. And he says that too to Donna. But people think different people. A lot of people think that Michael Papa Pom Pom is also a traitor, but then he is so loud and obnoxious, it's hard to tell. So definitely there are different names going around and suspicions as everybody is all into their groups to try to think who could be the traitor. I would like to say that this time, the very first show, Candace chose the outfit of a Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, and this time Candace has chosen the outfit of a flight attendant or an attendant of a train station with the hat and the jacket. It's very formal. I'm not sure what it is, why this is her choice. It's very cute. So her fashions, if anything, they are standing out in the show because each time Candice has worn or something, I've talked about it. Now, what is happening now that because I really don't know, as I said, a lot of the people, but I'm getting to know the personalities of the people. Michael Rapapum Pum Pum is very loud. Portia is very nervous and she has loose lips. And I know there is a saying, and whether it is in Scotland or elsewhere, the saying is loose lips sink ships. Portia is sinking a ship. She may not even know her, but she just keeps talking. But I really think maybe, perhaps it is a nerves of her. And then the lady Donna, people are very suspicious of her, especially Colton. But you know what? There's something about Colton. He doesn't seem to be a very nice person at all. And this is only the second show. I haven't even seen other shows or look at other reviews. I'm just basing it on what I'm seeing, how he is. It's like I don't know what is going on with the Colton. The Colton? What is happening with the Colton? Anyways, well, the discussions happen and then it's time for them to sit around the wrong table, like the knights at the wrong table. And so they all have to, the music and everything, and they all have to say who they're going to vote for. But the long and the short of it is a lot of people are very suspicious of Donna, the Kelsey football player's mother. And she is a fan of these people. But I do have to say, Miss Donner, I do hope you work on your personality because it is not coming out. But perhaps she's nervous as she admires all of these reality people she's seeing. Or perhaps she's nervous about the big wedding coming up. I don't know. But Donna, you must do more, okay? But they're all around the round table and they all have to do the votes. And the long and the short of it is Michael Rapapapum. Of course, he has a lot to say, but Ron has a lot to say about why he believes that Portia, and he shows all of his evidence that she said that she killed Ian. She does not remember saying this. She said that there are 4 traitors. She doesn't remember. Portia doesn't remember anything. She then also said about Michael Rapapapum wanting to kill off all of the housewives before, but there's just all this going on. But anyways, Candice's outfit is very cute of her, the train station stewardess lady. And what happens is there are 4 votes for Michael and 4 votes for Michael Pum Pum and 8 votes for Donna of the Kelsey people, the football. And maybe that is it. Maybe the Kelsey person is watching the Traitors and maybe seeing his mother upon the show. Maybe it is upsetting his football game. I don't know. And then they have 8 votes for poor Portia. Because she was so excited to be a part of the show. But now she's like that other lady, the Dorinda, Dorora, whatever, who always get vote off, I think, because you know what happens. Then they say to Colton, I don't trust Colton. They say to Colton, he has the deciding vote, and he says, well, something or other, and then he says Portia. So then what happens is that means they all believe that Portia is a traitor. She gets up in a very nice dress, and she walks over, and they find out that Portia is not a traitor. In fact, she was a faithful. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry, the hat is mysterious, but it's making my head very hot. Well, then the Traitors, they get a message that they have to murder somebody in plain sight. And that is and it all is a bit of trickery now because they have to murder someone in plain sight. They're all together and everything. And how you do that? And they have to search for the clues in the picture, a picture of that the secret traitor left of the people who are to be somebody that will be murdered. But Rob Rouse is very fast. But before him, Candace, because she's dressed like the steward of the train station and she perhaps wants to have a human train, she says, let's do a conga line for no reason at all. But the other Rob, he's very suspicious. Like, why would there be a conga line? And he's like, I feel like they're going to have to kill somebody in plain sight. He has the feeling. It's almost like the other Rob is psychic to the other Rob. That's the Rob Ross. That's the traitor. But the other Rob is a faithful, not the Rob that is a traitor. You understand? But Rob that is a traitor from Love Island, USA, he runs into a room and he finds the cards behind a picture and he looks at the people that the secret traitor, and they are Monet, Tara, Rob, and I cannot remember the other person that he has to choose from. Monet, Rob, Tara, and it's because I don't know all of the people. I'm so sorry, but there are 4 people. Here, let me look and try to see the names again. It's very hard. I'm already tired, but the names are here. Let me go. There are Bonner, Rob, Tara, and the other person, I don't know. Kimberly, I cannot read that far. Anyway, so Rob, now they have to burn the card. They have to burn the card because that's how you murder the person, in the plain sight. And it's not supposed to be suspicious. I do remember this from another show where somebody started a fire in the kitchen or something. I don't know. I'm having a flashback to the only other traders that I saw. But Candice, her outfit, I feel like she's going to sing the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boys of Company B. That is it. And maybe that's why she had the conga line. And she's still dancing after the conga line, but now they're all gathered around and they're talking again. And then they're also, the traders can't really talk to each other because everybody's there. So Rob comes up with a brilliant idea and he says to Lisa Rena, let's play chess. Do you know how to play chess? And in playing the chess, that's how they decide who it is that they are actually going to murder. And they're playing the game in plain sight as they're going to murder in plain sight. And they're figuring out in plain sight because everything is in plain sight. It's so intriguing. And so, as they're playing the chess, the other lady's name was Kristen. I'm sorry, but I couldn't see that far to the TV to remember her name. Her name is Kristen, the 4th person. So Rob is playing it like a game of chess. He's like, so you have a pawn, you have a bishop, you have a castle. And he's giving them each the names of the people. Is it Rob? Is it Monet? Is it Tara? Or is it Christian? And Tara is getting very suspicious. First, she's talking to the Donna of the Kelsey people, and because I don't know Donna, she has to do more with the she just has to do more. She's just there in the chair a little bit, like a bump in the castle. And Tara is very suspicious though of Rob and Lisa Rena over there playing the chess. And so that is, you can tell that they then decide who, and then Rob burns a card and throws it into the fireplace. It's all so dramatic. But Candace, who is a traitor, does not know who he threw in. So none of us know. And then it's time for everybody to say good night. And they walk up the stairs to the castle. And that is the end of episode 2 of The Traitors. Hey, I see you peeking at my videos, looking at some of the shorts, scrolling through the channel, but you're still like, wait, should I subscribe? Of course you should. You know why? Because this is Amani's vibe. And Amani's vibe, it's always a vibe. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's what's up.